Rising family, how you doing? Hope you're doing good. Let's talk. Let's gist. Let's vibe. Today we're going to talk about spiritual setups. How to avoid spiritual setups. How to avoid being set up spiritually. When you hear the word spiritual setup, what does that mean? What does the word setup mean? Setup is any form of illusion that is being pulled over your eyes to make you not think, so you just follow blindly. Anything that has to do with illusion is a setup, because it has someone who is preparing the illusion and someone who they are preparing the illusion for. Make sure you're not the one that you're preparing the illusion for. And when you're living in the matrix, it's filled with illusions, different types of illusions. So today's topic is how to avoid spiritual setups. So just like the way physically you have to use your discernment and your intelligence to know if you're being set up physically. If you're smart, you'll figure it out. The same thing spiritually. But first of all, you have to be spiritual. Being spiritual doesn't necessarily mean you have to pack your whole body full of crystals before we know you're spiritual. That's not what spirituality is. Spirituality is more or less like a lifestyle. It is a consciousness. It is your state of being, your state of knowing. It's a lifestyle. Take it. So, by the time you start incorporating the principles of the universe into your lifestyle, you will notice that you'll see some changes. You'll be like, my life is better. How come? Because you're listening. Now, unlike the physical that you can see, the spiritual, you can only see with this. And that determines if you've gotten there or not, because not every level of consciousness has tapped into this yet. And what is this? This is your connection to source. This is your connection to God. This is your crown. How well you make decisions in your life depends on whether or not your crown is with you or your crown is with someone else. That will determine if you make decisions and stand by it, or if you are going to meet somebody for direction and anything they say you do. If they tell you to trick your hand inside fire, you trick it, because why? He's a man of God now. Point I'm making is this. Spiritual setups are the same thing as psychological setups. They're not physical. You can't see them physically. These are things that you have to use your gifts to decipher. Spiritual setups are the same as mental psyops. I don't know if you heard the word mental psyop before, or a psychological operation. That's what a psyop is. Psychological. So we have different types of setups. You have to make sure that in your quest of finding God and knowing who you are and having knowledge of self, you do not fall into or walk into an illusion that has been set up to mislead you. But first of all, you have to be aware. And I feel like enough people don't speak about this, so that's why I'm talking on it. That's why I'm speaking on it. That's why we're vibing on it. Do you get me? So, point I'm making here is this. Protect your crown.